All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah is coming with an awesome lesson. And this lesson is going to take me a minute, but guess what? It's worth it all. I even was thanking the Most High Yah for just allowing me to understand it the way that He is actually giving it to me. Um, I'm grateful. I am, and He already knows my inner man and how I feel about what He is about to allow me to do. He's allowing me to bring Jacob's troubled Jacob, Jacob's troubled Jacob out, carrying the full light of understanding it. There's no way I could do it. Only through the help of He that's greater in me am I able to come before you this evening with such a very, very powerful message. All glory and honor is given to the Most High Yah, the creator of heavens and earth and everything and the fullness thereof. I give Him that glory and that honor, and the praise is given unto Him. Hallelujah. 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 All praises is to you, Most High, because it's no way I could be able to get in this and bring it forth like you brought it, like you taught me it from the inside. And I'm grateful that you chose me to be the one that put this out in the light. And whomever it is for those who also are the light, might not have ever understood or understand Jacob's trouble in the way Sister Deborah is about to break it down. Okay. I want you to also know that me bringing Jacob's trouble to you, I want you to know that there are already individuals on this earth that have been given the ability to manipulate and deceive the whole world. They fully aware of Jacob's trouble. And they call themselves, would call their animals. They probably wouldn't even call it their dogs. They're using their dogs to go after and to make it fulfill tribulation toward Jacob. See, and this is where they don't know. And you're going to hear it in these verses saying they don't know. So Sister Deborah is going to take these verses and bring them to light. Okay. Because many of you all have read into this and never heard the light of it. Much is darkness, but to bring the light out of darkness, that's the gift from on high, from the Most High God. So for he that has an ear and an eye to see what Sister Deborah is about to do in this message, this is for you. This is for you. It has been assigned, appointed, and anointed for this day for you to receive this. And this is about Jacob's trouble. Trouble Jacob's. Jacob's trouble. Trouble Jacob. Jacob's trouble Jacob, in hope that you will be able through the Spirit to really balance this out, because it would help those that are truly in the light understand what is actually taking place before them and the days not next to them, in front of them. Okay, so I want to first start off with Daniel, because Daniel was the one Daniel wasn't the first one. So let's not start with Daniel. No, let's not start with Daniel. Let's start with Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah first. Let me see if that's right. Let's go to Isaiah first. Let's go there. Let's go to Isaiah first, okay? In the book of Isaiah, chapter 65. Now, I want to say this here. The power in what I'm about to speak to, what I'm about to speak on, it really separate people. It actually separate Gentiles and heathens and other nations from this message. Only one allowed to come into this message are those that are in the body of Hamashiach. Those are the ones that's grafted in. They can come into this message and this will fulfill in them what side they're on. You see, because a lot of them think that the side that they're on is a side that they choose themselves. Most of them. And you're going to hear it in here. But Sister Deborah going to bring the light out of it so you can understand exactly why the way heavens want you to understand it today. The Father says that it doesn't matter about yesterday. And yesterday actually can mean yesterday, meaning yesterday like the day before or the days back in the days. It's what's being spoken to you today because the light is shining in darkness. Okay, so we're going to first start off instead. We're going to go for Isaiah. We're going to deal with several prophets, okay, in this here. And I can do that. That's why when somebody's teaching Jacob's trouble, if they are not a prophet, they can't dip into the prophets. I know it. Let's go. Revelation chapter 10. They're going to abide by the Most High. They're not going to abide by the Most High's word, no way. So that's why he told me, you just teach that and keep it going. Because someone is looking for Jacob's trouble. They trying to understand it. And that's all. That's who it's meant for. The ones that's out here that's trying to understand it. Okay, he's not trying to give this to everybody. What I'm about to allow you to kind of hear with Revelation. I have that. I need to have that highlighted because I use it a lot. In Revelation chapter 10, in Revelation chapter 10, in Revelation chapter 10, verse 7, it reads, in the day. That's the day we're in, y'all. In the day of the voice of the seventh angel, the mystery of Yah shall be finished. Finished. As he have declared to his servants. Which servants? He have servants in the body of Hamashiach that are apostles. Servants that's in the body of Hamashiach that are priests. He have bishops. He have pastors. He have evangelists. He got many in the body, but he wants you to know, only speaking through his servant with an S, the prophets. We're the one that brings out the mysteries that is finished. I knew it. Y'all think you can sit and mingle with one another and bring it out? You can. Y'all never set it up from the floor that you would be able to. So that's why I said to the Father earlier, you get burnt out because you're talking to a lot of brick walls. And you're getting burnt out. And he said, just stay in there. He that endure, Deborah, you got to endure this. This is what it's all about. Enduring. Yes, you know truth. That's what you're enduring. You're enduring the fact that you know truth and you speaking truth to a bunch of brick walls. But endure it. Because you're the one that's going to be saved. You just keeping it going. Because that's the purpose of you enduring. Knowing that you are speaking spirit and truth. You speaking the light, which is truth. You know that. If nobody else in the world knows it, you knows it. That's the part of endurance. He that endure until the end, Deborah, just endure. So when I get to Revelation chapter 10 and verse 7, but in the day of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yah, the mystery of Yah should be finished. And it is. And it is. As he has declared to his servants. You see what it adds? He wants you to know the servants that represent him in this order, or of declaring the mystery, shall only come out of the mouth of prophets. So you can kick rocks all day long, baby. Y'all can sit down and study and read. He just didn't orchestrate it for you to just go in and anywhere you want and think you know it all. And that's what people have done. They have gotten to themselves and formed their own God. Okay. Even if it's at the point where they self be their own God. Okay. So he knows that the mystery has to come through his servants, the prophet. He could have said his servant, the apostles. He could have said his servant, the evangelists. He could have said his servant, the pastors, his servant, the ministry, the ministers. He could have said his servant, everybody, but he wanted you to know, only one gonna be able to bring my mystery out is my prophets. Not your prophet that you put in play, not the prophet you say that is a prophet, but his prophets that's carrying the word of truth through endurance and patience and long suffering. Deborah, come on out. And long suffering. So here I want you to go to Isaiah 65. And my thing is to inform you that I'm the one let me get that away from there, because that truth is just, it is what it is. It don't have to try. I want to say that many of you all have no idea that the one that rules darkness as men on this earth, they are fully aware of Jacob's trouble. They are fully aware of Jacob's trouble. And what else is about Jacob's trouble? Jacob is not in trouble in the natural Jacob. Jacob that's in trouble is the spiritual Jacob. You get it? I know you didn't. Jacob that's in trouble is not the Jacob of the flesh. Okay? The Jacob that's in trouble is the Jacob in the spirit. He's in trouble in the flesh. The Jacob that's in the spirit is in trouble. But the Jacob that's in the flesh, he's not in trouble. He's not talking about him. And you're going to learn that today. Okay? So let's go to Isaiah 65. And let's start with verse 8. In Isaiah 65 and verse 8, bear with me. Thus said Yah, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one said, as new wine is found in the cluster, and one said, destroy it not, destroy it not, destroy it not. Who? The new wine that's found, it's found in the cluster, and one said it. Notice that one. So that one is the spirit. Said, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. There you go. See, y'all don't really get it. I learned so much my few days on my short vacation, and I've been thanking the Father ever since I got on that plane for just giving me that time. And in that time, it was a lot of him showing and revealing things to me. Tell me that ain't a blessing inside of a blessing. You thinking you going on a vacation and your vacation really was overwhelmed by him revealing things. And it wasn't that he was revealing it. He was climbing on top of what he had already taught me. That's a beautiful thing, y'all. That is a beautiful thing. That's why I said, Father, when I get back, I got to stay where you brought me to. I got to bring everything up to that level because that's where you at. That's where you have me. That's where you want me. Don't keep going down at the level to satisfy people. Don't keep going down at the level to get along with people. Don't keep going down at a level to mingle and communicate with people. Don't go down at their level. Leave them alone. Let them stay at the level of where they are. Move on up, said the Most High Yah. Because this is the level I'm bringing you. That's why I'm climbing on top of you, Deborah. Because I'm bringing you full revelation. Much light. You got many that's standing at the lower level and they're content with the little light they feel they have. But not understanding you can lose that little pin needle light that you have. And I'm grateful that he teaches me in that way because it's beautiful to me. Now listen to what he says. In the book of Isaiah 65 and verse 8, Thou said the Most High Yah, as the new wine is found in the cluster. And one said, see there? Yah said. And one said, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. See, if you look at verse 8, you hear it says, as the new wine is found in the cluster. Now you go back and you see where he said, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servants. You hear his servants? See, many of you all just assume, and I don't like it. I really don't like it, that you in there because you thinking you're cunning. You think you're using craftiness and sorcery to manipulate one to think that you're there. You see? But with Sister Deborah flying on and going to and fro and tell you something. Yah is greater in me when he went and even when he came back, but he put greater wisdom and knowledge in me and understanding of really what one has to endure and endure and endure. The same way they did him. It's the same game. The game they will play on those who come to bring light. The game is never any difference from the way that they do the Father. Okay, so he say here, the blessing is in it. So will I do for my servants' sakes, that I may not destroy them all. We're talking about Jacob's trouble. Trouble Jacob. Jacob's trouble. Trouble Jacob. Listen to what he says. So I will do for my servants' sakes, that I may not destroy them all. Verse 9. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountain. See, Jacob, he's going to bring a seed. And he's going to, and what do he say? And out of Judah is an inheritor of my mountains. See, y'all thinking that Yah is bringing the flesh out of this place. He's talking about in this verse 8, he's talking about in the custard. And one said, destroy it not, for a blessing is where? In it. And then you get to verse 9 and it says, and I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob. Out of Jacob. out Jacob. Now watch this here. And out Judah. And out Judah. And an inheritor of my mountains. See, you all really is thinking that you got the game and gone. You think you got the game and gone. You can't manipulate me. You can't fool me. I play with you all day long in the ballpark and still know who you are. Because many things is revealed to his servants. Who's who and what's what. And just because it won't come out, don't mean that it ain't in. Who's who and what's what. So as you see here, it says, he's going to bring something out of Jacob for a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah. And an inheritor of my mountain. And my elect shall inherit it. And my servants shall dwell there. Look at what y'all. He's calling these people his spiritual people. He's telling you, I'm bringing something out of Jacob and I'm bringing something out of Judah. And like unto verse 8, the new wine is found in the custard. And one said, destroy it not. Why? For a blessing is where? Inside of it. So I will do for my servants' sake that I may not destroy them all. He's letting you know all of Judah and all of Jacob is not going to be destroyed because he got something invested in and he wants what belongs to him. Okay, so this is what he's saying. And then he's letting you know that they are my servants. I try to teach that probably in the last 4 or 5 years. You guys are not appearing to represent anything that's attached to a servant. Because you got too much cunning and crafty and sorcery and witchcraft behind you, playing on yourself that you are the servants of the Most High Yah. Y'all ain't buying into that. That's why he gave me this message about Jacob's trouble, Jacob. Jacob's trouble, Jacob. To wake up some of you who think y'all got something over y'all's head. That you so your craftiness, it's going to keep you looking and appearing like you're lining up with y'all. It's not. Because when it all said and done, he's coming, like he said, for his service. We can't serve him without him being in us. That's his service, y'all. Living through us, speaking out of us, walking in front of us, leading and guiding us. We are the steps that has been ordered. We don't rule nothing. We are under something, and that is the Most High Yah. So in verse 10, where I'm at. And verse 10 said, and Sharon shall be a foe of flocks, and the village of Anchor, a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me. And that's another part that a lot of people don't understand. Sought me. People don't feel that they have to seek after y'all like that. They feel if I can just be part-time, or if I can be temporary, or if I can be 1/4 in there and I'm good. It's okay for you to feel like that. It's okay for you to walk, to live your living, to talk and portray it. But let me tell y'all something. The game is going to be on you. Because I'm going to tell you, Sister Deborah ain't got a hell and a heaven to put you in. But let me tell you, this Most High do. And let me tell you, like the message he gave me the other day, your light can be cut off, even if you got a pin needle of it, because only he knows. Just like the seeds that were sown, notice the seed was sown by the word. You see? So you see, the seed that was sown by the word. So don't think that those seeds died and mission wasn't to the lake of fire. Because they come here not to represent the seed of the spirit, but the seed of darkness. When they got here, then they were able to identify their position on the earth. But he's letting you know they came down here as the seed of the word. The word they came down here. That's that truth I told y'all that's in everybody. They had it. It's what they did with it when they got down here. Everything. It even talks about how many they were so excited to receive and to be activated in that truth and following it. But after a while, no, you didn't, Father. Yes, I did. After a while, by and by, they went on their way. Well, see, that's what it's like in this end day. You see? And I look at it and I think of it, it's really smart. Only one could have come up with that is the Most High Yah. He left enough space for everybody to come in and play around and then go out. So he's actually, that's kind of, ain't no kind of, that's smart. So that people can think they can play in the swimming pool and come out, play in it and play out. You see, they think that the ball is really in their hand, and that's what's wrong with them. They so into flesh that they think that they can rule this spiritual mission in their own hand. In their own hand, meaning their own flesh. They think they're gonna rumble this thing and make it be what they think that they're being cunning and crafty and sorcery, and they don't know they playing that. But just listen, you keep hearing, you're gonna hear where he said they didn't know it. So I'm just trying to get you there. So in Isaiah 65, verse 8 through 10, he's actually showing you and explaining to you regarding Jacob and Judah, that he's only coming for a certain Jacob and a certain Judah. Listen to verse 9, Isaiah 65 and verse 9. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob. Now we know something's coming out of Jacob because we know David's coming out of Jacob, and we know that there's others that's coming out of Jacob. And he said, and out of Judah. Why out of? Because he's only bringing out the spiritual Jacob and the spiritual Judah, while y'all out there playing, thinking you got plenty of time to live this life to your fullness, and thinking, hey, I'm gonna make it in. I got the light, and I got this. You're playing in the devil's playground, and the Father want me to let you know he ain't got no problem with that. It's over. Play on while you can. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30. In the book of Jeremiah chapter 30, and I'm going to ride on this a little bit because Jeremiah chapter 30, this is stuff that I didn't know. And like I said, I'm grateful that the Father revealed to me. And I'm talking about Jacob's trouble and trouble Jacob. So when we get to where it's talking about and it's fully covering Jacob's trouble, this is what it means. Understand, Jacob's trouble is only the trouble for those who are in Jacob and those who are in Judah. He's letting you know they are in there, not out there. Out there mean on the left side. Out there mean born of the Spirit. Out there mean in the world. When they in there, in Jacob, they are spiritual, because that's the spiritual Jacob that's in them. You see, the spiritual Judah. That's what he has let everybody know. Guess who else knows it? The darkness that ruled the four corners of the earth. that nation. I can't keep saying nations. I'm going to say one nation, because these type of people are under one nation doing this wicked and evil. And it's actually letting you know, even at the very end, why he's coming for their territory. It's because they are a people that is a nation in the oneness of hate in their hearts. And you cannot and shall not be able to remove it, for it's on the four corners, ruling in darkness. That's how heavy it is. So here in Jeremiah chapter 30, and we're going to start with verse 6. In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6, it says, Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with a child. I like that. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. I like this. I like this, because I want you to go back to that. Verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6. Ask ye now, and you won't ask. But he said, ask ye now. See whether a man doeth travail with child. Do you think that a man, talk to me, Most High Yah, travails with child? Y'all don't get it, do you? See, you hear and you hear not. Nor do you hear what thus said the word of Yah. You don't even hear, because the spirit of Yah is not in you, giving you the ability to even grip what is being heard in the spirit. It's not the will of the Father for you to get this. So I'm speaking to that one, that same one that's going to enter therein from Jacob and Judah, from the spiritual realm. That's who I'm speaking to. So you can fake it till you make it. Sister Deborah is done with that. I'm a new sheriff in town. Him giving me the ability to just step away from my comfort zone for a minute, to get in the environment that was different. I learned much, but more so darkness than anything. Tell the truth, devil. Shame any devil, but that's the truth. I learned what he needed me to learn, and I'm grateful for it. Because not only that did he stand on top of what he has already taught me. So he was all on my head. He was all on my head. What's on my head? My spiritual mind and my natural. My spiritual heart and my natural heart. Teaching me from within. The Most High was teaching me from within. Clamming on top of what he already taught me. And I'm so grateful, because he could have done that years ago, last year, the year before. But he gave that time to me to climb on top. For what reason? I have no idea, but I don't care. I'm just glad he made it in. He made it into me. I'm so grateful for that. So here, watch this here, you guys. Jeremiah chapter 30. Okay? It says, ask. I'm speaking to each and every last one of you all out there. Ye now. I asked, and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces, with that S behind it, are turned into paleness. Can a man travail with a child? Alas, for that, verse 7, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Can a man travail with a child. He's talking to you, Judah. He's talking to you. Let's bump it up to verse 4. Take it up to verse 4, Deborah. And I need you to bring it down. Even though I got verse 6, the Holy Spirit said bump it up to verse 4 and bring it on down. So now I'm going up to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4. And these are the words, which is the word that Yah spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah. See, right there, he's actually taking all nations, Gentiles and heathen out of the ballpark. He got a message for Judah and Israel. He got a message for Judah and Israel. And who is that? Jacob. He's speaking to Jacob here, y'all. Look at verse 4. For these are the word that Yah spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Most High Yah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. What I want to say to you all today, heavens is on this. He's on this. Did I feel that? Oh yeah, because I'm seeing things that I know should have shook the kingdom. When y'all hear me say, and he didn't bust a move, he didn't even bust a move, because right then I look for the kingdom to bust a move. Come on now, did you see what they doing? Did you see how they doing it? Did you see the way they doing it? Come on, when you gonna bust a move? Y'all don't bust a move on my time. He sees it all. So when I'm reading this to you, this is what busting a move means. Since y'all didn't understand it the way Sister Deborah spoke it out and said bust a move, let me give you a little something where you can understand what bust a move means. Okay, here we go. Verse 4. And these are the word of the Most High Yah spoke a concerning. He's talking words concerning Jacob. Let's put it like that, because he's saying Israel and Judah, so we saying Jacob. Okay, for thy said the Most High Yah. Hear what he said to you all this day from the prophet. He says, for thy said Yah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear. Heavens and heard the voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. So this here is when Sister Deborah said, Father, you ain't gonna bust a move, because I expect heavens to, hey, do you hear? Do you see it? I told y'all once before, and more than once, I have throughout my 65 years, probably 3 or 4 times, let's say it like that. Well, when I have to go to the altar in the way that I have to go to the altar come down for me. Praise the Most High. I have known this Creator. See, if I get in a situation where I'm looking at him and say, I know you see that. I know you seen that. What you gonna do, Father? What, come on. I have to say this to y'all so y'all can get where I'm coming from. And you know what he did? He bust a move. Go, Deborah. Go, Deborah. Go, Deborah. He bust a move. And quick. So don't ever estimate that you ain't never ran up on nobody, because you most likely haven't, because yourself, starting with yourself. That y'all would come off of that throne and bust a move if you mess with one of mine. I'm a living and not a dead prophet witness. Oh, yeah. So when y'all hear me saying, woo, you ain't gonna bust a move, you gonna bust a move. See, y'all never knew what I was talking about. You still don't. That's how far in the deep you are. I know what I mean. I know what I'm saying when I say you ain't gonna bust a move. So right here is an example of him busting a move. What happened here? What did he say in verse 4? For these are the word of Yah spoke concerning Israel and Judah, which is who? Jacob. Watch this here. Concerning Jacob. For thou said Yah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands, let's put both of them on his loins, as a woman in travail. And all faces are turned into paleness. The kingdom done saw something. Hold up, you guys. All right, let's get with this. Let's get with it. All right. Now, he's setting the example of the man is in travail. Travail means that pain that a woman has during labor. Heavy pain. Oh, who is he talking to, Deborah? Who is he talking about? He's talking about Jacob. He ain't talking about the heathens and the Gentiles and all these other nations. He's only talking about Jacob. And this message is only talking about Jacob troubles. And trouble Jacob. So here he said in verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with a child. Wherefore do I see every man, he's seeing this from the kingdom. Every man his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail. I love how he always detached the pain of a woman to situations of that actually happen in reality to people, so they can get a little grip of the pain, but they don't get it. They don't get it, even with this here. Okay. And he's saying, and all faces are turned into paleness. Something going on. Heavens is looking down. What is he doing? He hears the voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Oh, Jacob, you in trouble. And he feeling it. The kingdom of the Most High Yah wants me to know, let you know, that he hears the voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. So when you hear this sister talking about bust a move, because I know he didn't bust 3 or 4 times a move. When I seen something, bam, there he was. So I look and see what's going on in the world. I see this hate. I see this unjust. I see this unrighteousness. And I'm like, you see what they're doing to Jacob? Jacob, oh, Father, you gonna bust a move? Oh, you gonna bust a move, Father? Reading this is showing me that he said, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. See, they don't understand why a man's supposed to travail with a child. Because all the seeds on the earth came from the womb of a man, his sperm. The hurt and the pains is supposed to be him, not her. That's why he's using the example as her with a child. He's trying to get the men to understand you're supposed to be in pain for your nation. You're supposed to be in pain for your nation. I'm talking to Jacob. Jacob's trouble and trouble Jacob. But he's seeing something about Jacob's. He see the tremble of fear and not of peace. And he see the men is travailing like a woman. They're holding themselves due to pain. Heaven sees it. Whether the earth agreed with it, heaven sees it. I'm so grateful that he has everything written in him already. Because y'all down here clowning. Y'all acting a clown down here. You're not getting it. Okay? So verse 7. So verse 7 in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great. That's why men are aching. Like the travail of a woman. So that none is like it. You hear me, Jacob? He's telling you, Jacob. He knows what you're already going to go through and what you're going through and have been going through. But now, in travail, women, you can identify the pain of where it gets when you in that last stage of birth. The pain is bad. So he's saying to Jacob, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Can a man travail like unto a woman in travail? Oh, yes. Men, he's sending a sign to you that you're going to feel that thing. And Sister Deborah tell y'all, you're going to feel that thing. I've been teaching that, and the reason why I got to say that is because it bothers me even to this very day. You realize that no matter how much you feed people spirit and truth, y'all already got people tagged in darkness. And I'd be like, well, why did they come in it anyway? They could have stayed out as a brick wall. They could have stayed out in darkness. He said, because that's how they are with him. So don't expect them to be any different with me if they've been with the Father, the Creator, all this time. Likewise, don't expect anything different, Deborah. Okay? So he's telling you, watch what he said. For that day is great, Jacob, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's. Jacob's got to own this thing. Trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. The Father is not speaking to nations. He's not speaking to Gentiles and heathens. Why? Because they are a part of why Jacob's trouble is before him. See, that's what they don't get. They have no idea. And when I have Gentiles on my page, my whole idea is for them to be able to I say these things to make sure, because this is still righteous and just to continue to speak these things, to cut out because you are on my page. No, go on a page that you feel comfortable hearing what you need to hear. But Sister Deborah going to bring that thing up and she's going to land that thing down, whether you like it or not. How about that? How about that? See, she's going to bring that light out of darkness. He's talking to Jacob. Jacob ain't here, but don't mean he ain't talking to him long as Sister Deborah can hear. See, y'all didn't know it. He said his servants are the one that can hear. See, y'all thought it was all Jacob. Oh, no, he's speaking to his servants. So you see how y'all bent up and bent down, running around here trying to be holy, then now trying to be something that you're not. He's not looking for you to be it. We already let you know I'm only speaking to the seed of my servants. See the game now. Who the game on? Who is the game on now? Ah, you thought you had the game and gone, huh? Okay. So what happens here? So he began to say, Alas, for this is verse 7. For that day is great. So he's warning Jacob that this day is going to be great. This is my cry to him now. See, I ain't trying to play the role of everybody else. That's why I'm grateful, so grateful that I don't have to step into everybody's role. Because people playing it for all it's worth, y'all. Let me tell you, they playing it for all it's worth. And guess what they're going to be? Stuck out. Stuck out there. Oh, yes. And I told y'all, we're going to be tried. I told y'all that. As who? Jacob's trouble. He just told you, can a man travail with child like into a woman? Deborah. It's a woman in travail. Deborah. I'm speaking to somebody out there. And feel the trembling of your finger. And a man, Deborah, travail like unto a woman. You can't answer that because you're not in the place of spirit and truth with the light like you thought you were. That's why 99.9 couldn't get Jacob's trouble, Jacob it lining up in the right protocol of the spirit. Tell him, Deborah. So what did he tell him here? In verse 7, he comes up and he began to say, for that day is great, Deborah. That day is great. That means great sorrow, great pain, great heartache, great trouble, Deborah. Tell them. And he's trying to let the men understand the pain is greater than a woman. Oh, Jacob, that type of pain like to a woman. Yes. This is what they should have been preaching. This is what they should have been teaching. So then he says, it is even, we in verse 7, it is even the time of Jacob. Trouble. You hear that? Jacob's. You got to own that bad boy. Jacob's. We owning that bad boy. Trouble. You in trouble, Jacob. But he shall be saved out of it. He ain't saying you not in trouble. He said you in trouble. Like big time trouble. Because now it's not like the women that was in travail. The men is going to carry the heavy load. And they running around here degrading their women. They running around here making them look like I don't know and what for. Killing up their women, their mothers, their grandmothers, their fathers. And they don't even understand that Jacob's trouble is not for those who are doing that. Jacob's trouble is for those who are not doing that. But still, they're the one that's feeling the real travail pain. See, the real Jacob gonna feel that thing. Why you say that, Deborah? Because that's who he assigning it for. Jacob's trouble is for only the Jacob in the spirit. It's not for the Jacob in the flesh. It's for the Jacob in the spirit. What do you mean? The Jacob in the spirit is going to feel it in the flesh. Ooh, did you say that, Deborah? Yes, I did. I went all the way. You just missed it. Okay? You just missed that bad boy. So when he's talking about can a man travail like unto a woman with a child, he's saying yes, he's going to. But I like what he's saying. I like it, Father, because I've been trying to teach them that. You got to feel that thing. See? See the true Jacob in the spirit? You got to feel that thing. Oh, yeah. That's why those that's out here, I say, I really pity them. They think they got it from A to Z. He ain't talking to you. Because he letting you use what you got to make you think you're a God to yourself. And you really ain't in need for him for anything. You go right ahead. Because you have to be able to fall under the protocol of needing Yah. But when you don't have that spirit to need him for anything, because in your sick mind and heart, I got everything. I know I'm ready. I know I got mine. But see, Yah knows the travail of a man is the pain of sorrow. So heavy. It's like unto a woman in travail. So he's telling the men, you're going to have that pain that the women have. Why? It's the trouble of the flesh, because you are the Jacob in the spirit. You're going to feel that thing. Woo, I like that, Father. Y'all tell them, Father, y'all, you're going to feel that thing. So when I'm sitting around trying to school y'all about feeling this thing, y'all, it goes straight over your head. You still don't get it. I sit back and I was just thinking about me talking about that young man and telling them everything what happened to him. And now the more and more they get into it, you're going to see it was just like Sister Deborah said. Oh, yes, this is going to continue in lies. It's going to continue in lies. But you're going to start to see the lies still telling the pen needle of truth what Sister Deborah was telling y'all. But it doesn't matter. Why? Because that's dark on dark crime. You see? Ain't nobody within that ballpark that's playing on that field representing anything righteous. They're not representing anything just. Everything was founded under darkness, and that's why it's playing out like it's playing out under darkness. And that's why everybody on these platforms are playing in it like darkness. It's not in it for righteous or for the light. They want to be in the dark, playing this dark game with each other. So let's get back to this. So in verse 8, it says, for it shall come to pass in that day, tell them, Deborah, in that day, said the Most High of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Did I get that right? Did I say something? Let me break that down a little bit, because I know y'all missed that. Went over your head again. Listen to this. Verse 8. We in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 8. And he's talking about Jacob's trouble. Trouble, Jacob. Jacob's trouble. Trouble, Jacob. Now let's go to 8. For it shall come to pass. When he says it's going to come to pass, he's about what he said. He said what he's about. It's going to come to pass. In that day, said Yah of hosts. I like that, a host. He's telling you the whole kingdom heard it. The whole kingdom heard what he said. Okay? Watch this here. That I will break, Deborah, the yoke from off the neck, and I will burst thy bonds. And the strangers with an S, and the strangers with an S shall no more serve themselves of him. See, because Jacob got under the strangers, and the strangers, you know how the strangers came out of Egypt. They was always with Jacob. The strangers have always been among us since Abraham. But when we came in here in captivity, they got above us. Okay? They got above us. And what the strangers did, they got above us, and a lot of them left us because they didn't stand with us, because even themselves felt that they were above us. That's why I say the Father really wants you to be careful in how you dealing with people. When he said, ask this person for his ID, and you will see the response. The moment I did that and got that response, I said, thank you, Father. I would have never known. And that's you too. Anytime you get in a situation and the Father tell you to ask this question or to show this or to ask this, don't hesitate, because you just wants to do something and wants to go somewhere. You want to be about something. Ask that question that you normally wouldn't have asked. Because if the Spirit said ask it, you better ask it. And I'm so grateful I did. Because that one question that said ID took somebody that I thought was in the realm of grafted in, a part of it, straight out the ballpark. Total home run. The whole Spirit went out the ballpark. And I'm like, what? What's that? What did you just do, Deborah? You asked one question. And that Spirit couldn't deal with it. It cranked up every spirit in it to argue and fuss because of one question. You go into the post office, you go down to the government building, no matter where you go, first thing they ask you is what? ID. You can't go nowhere in this world and they never ask you for ID. You won't have no problem with it. But Judah is not entitled to ask questions. You find out people don't see you human. They don't see you to be who Yah called you to be, because they'll show you what they feel about you from one question. The same thing everything on this earth asks for. I did a traveling from matter of fact, I didn't even know it was like that, from Missouri to Miami, Florida to Nashville to Orleans to not Nashville, it was somewhere else. Nashville came from after I left Orleans, but it was another. I got to look at my thing. But I went through 6 states. You can't go nowhere without an ID. You go anywhere to even do anything, you have to have ID. Would you tell people no? Would you get offended because someone asking you? Well, wait a minute. We don't stand in the same body. We're not in the same body of Christ. If one can get offended from that number and something in them told them that they were whole, that they was right there, by the grace of the Holy Spirit that's in me. I'm so grateful that he said that, because I wouldn't have asked for nobody for no ID. I really wouldn't. I was on my way the next day. No, it's 2 days, I think it was. But I was grateful that the Father said, ask that one question, and it'll tell you all you need to know. And I asked that question. Bam! The conversation, everything made me the demon and the devil and the witch and everything for one question. ID. Ain't that deep? That's deep. That's that level of power and control. The elites, I ain't gonna say those who rule the 4 corners. They don't want nothing but that power and control within them. Many people have that power and control because, let me tell you why. Anytime a person can make a difference in anything and they don't. Now, if a person couldn't, that's different. But if a person can make a difference in anything and they don't, that's power and control. That's strictly power and control. That's what this country is built upon. Y'all didn't know that, did you? This whole country is built upon power and control. And the people are the enemies of this power and control, because they only wants to deal with you at the level of where they feel that they in full control. And if you don't give them that, and don't be my color, you're not supposed to have no power. Matter of fact, you're not supposed to be able to talk back. You're not supposed to ask nobody questions. You're not supposed to ask for ID. You're not supposed to do anything. This shows you everybody that portray to be spiritual, you better watch yourself. You hear me, Jacob? Watch yourself. Now listen to what it says here in verse 8. For it shall come to pass. That means it will come to pass. Okay? It's not going to come to pass on Sister Deborah time. This is heaven's wanting us to understand it's going to come to pass. And you all that's going to be living going to see it. Watch what he says. What did he say? In that day, that's the day we're in, okay? Said the Most High of hosts. I like that because he's letting you know the whole heaven heard it. The whole heaven, the whole host of heaven then heard what the Father said. Now, this is what he said. That will break the yoke from off the neck and will burst the bonds. And he break the yoke off the neck of of Jacob. Now watch this here. And the strangers with an S, which is many, shall no more serve themselves of him. They're not going to serve themselves no longer. So see, this is why they want to grip the salvation through belief. But the belief has to be branded in you. And if it's not, so many don't believe it. They have taken on belief and sealed it in a pulpit, and they're already in the kingdom, waiting for the rapture. 99.9 of your friends have sealed themselves to be the believers without the seal of heaven in their spirit. You got to watch out. And I'm saying that because Sister Deborah was taken as well. I was taken. But guess what? The rock in me didn't let me go under. He gave me the word to say, I did. And that was it. That was enough to say, hey, boom, now you know who's who. Now you know what's what. Okay? Because something as little as an ID, a picture to identify, can take a person to a deep end outside of the spirit. Y'all better be careful who you're dealing with. You better be careful. Now listen to what he says here. And the strangers shall no more, Deborah. They shall no more, Deborah. Tell them, Judah, Israel that fall under the spiritual Jacob. No more will the strangers in that day. No more will the strangers. What? Shall no more, you shall no more serve them. Because remember, they got above you when you came into captivity, Judah. They got above you. They used to be with you, you see. But once you got into this situation, they put themselves above you. You see, they got above you because the world put you beneath everything less than human. So he just letting you know the strangers just used to be on your side. What did he say? They shall no more. The strangers shall no more serve themselves. You see that, y'all? So that means the Gentiles and the heathens, which are the strangers, other nations. Okay? Shall no more serve themselves. See, they've been serving themselves. See how we thinking that they are grafted in to really be on our side, or the? Now, it ain't a most. Okay, when I say on our side. When I speak of the spiritual Jacob, that side is righteous, okay? That side is true. The spiritual Jacob is righteous and true, okay? So that's the side I'm speaking on. They do not fall under the category of righteous and truth. There's no more serving them anymore because even them themselves got up there with the level of all these other nations and these heathens and these Gentiles that treated you like you were was oppressing you and putting a yoke around your neck. Now he said they would treat the strangers was treating you the same way. But now you ain't going to serve them. You ain't going to serve the strangers anymore, Jacob. That's out. I'm knocking that out in that day. Okay? In verse 10, therefore, fear thy not. Don't fear the fact that what I'm going to do. Don't fear. You hear me, Jacob? Jacob's trouble. Trouble Jacob. Jacob's trouble. Trouble Jacob. When I say trouble Jacob, I'm speaking to the spiritual Jacob, not to the worldly Jacob. Okay? I'm not speaking to the spiritual. I'm only speaking to the spiritual Jacob, not the worldly Jacob. So when I say trouble Jacob, I'm trying to send a sign to the spiritual Jacob and not the worldly Jacob. So what happens? Verse 10, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob. Okay, my servant Jacob. I'm learning that everybody that says, like he said, Lord, Lord, everybody that says, I have the Ruach HaKodesh, I have the Holy Spirit, I know I'm saved, I'm full of the Holy Spirit, I know I have the Ruach, I even have my ticket. Don't take that and use that for nothing. Throw it in the trash. Deborah, don't take on to that. Don't be misled by it. Okay, so in verse 10, therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob. He's still talking to his servant. People don't understand what the servant is. The servants of Jacob are the spiritual seeds. The servants of Jacob are the elects that come down to represent Jacob. They represent Israel and Judah as Jacob's in the spirit, is what Yah is calling out right here. Okay. And he said, O my servant Jacob, said Yah, neither be dismayed, or of Israel, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of thy captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. He's talking about the spiritual Jacob. I got you. Spiritual Jacob, I got you. I got you. Okay. So this is it. This is watch what he says, verse 11. For I am with thee. You see the here the I am. I am with thee. Notice all the time we was talking about Yah. And Yah said, this, and Yah said that. Then all of a sudden you get to verse 11. Now you hear the I am. I am. Do you see the I am slanted? Because he's trying to let y'all know. Pull up now. Come on now, y'all. Pull up to the level. I am then pulled up. Okay? With thee, said the Most High Yah, to save thee, though I make a full end of all the nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. But I will correct thee in the measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Praise the Most High Yah. For thy, verse 12, for thy said the Most High Yah, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Verse 13, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up, and thou hast no healing medicine. No, not for what I put on your tail. What I put on you, there's no healing. There's no deliverance. There's no medicine. There's no cure for what you're going through. Spiritual Jacob. So don't look for it. So we look on our left and look on our right on this devil platform, trying to find Judah, the spiritual Judah, no, the spiritual Jacob, trying to unite and get together with the spiritual Jacob. He's letting you know it ain't no cure for him, Deborah. You've been telling those people that. You know how long you've been saying Judah is Judah? How long have you been saying Judah is? How long have you been teaching these people and ministering to these people? And you done set out all those videos and they get in went in one and went out next. And what happened? They take off running. See, people don't understand. You didn't come down here to be the spiritual seed. If you can run from the word of God, if you can run from the word of God, which is the word of the Most High God, you'll run from anything. You need to run from the light. You need to run from the word of Yah and the servants of the Most High Yah that speaks spirit and truth in the light. You ran away from nothing. The Most High Yah said they done ran away from me. They're going to run away from what you say because you represent me. Greater is he that is in me than any one of y'all that set y'all tails up in this world, call yourself full of what is greater in me. It identifies everything happens for a reason. And I'm starting to love this reason. Now, throughout the last 5 or 6 years, I've been explaining how something wrong with Judah. Y'all, Judah gone. Y'all, Judah is sick. Oh, Judah men are this. Judah. And you know what? Y'all will look at me all cockeyed. Half of y'all, the most of y'all will look at me wrong. The men won't listen. Nobody will listen to nothing Sister Deborah say. Oh, everybody is about a bunch of mess stuck in. Not only they flesh, but in their spirit, you full of a crap. You're full of a lot of that crap. And I'm just grateful that I have the Ruach in me to teach me the difference from your crap and who he is in me. Because when you look at verse 12, let me just say it again. When you look at verse 12, it says, for thy said the Most High Yah, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wounds is grievous. See, Yah, watch. Let me go and finish what he said. Verse 13. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. See, told y'all. And when I was saying that, people on this devil platform, it's amazing how they would say, you know, something wrong with her. She's saying this and that's not right. And this, y'all can say what you want to say. When it all said and done, kick rocks. Just kick them far away from here. Because it don't make no sense for people to be on this platform. Month after month, week after week, year after year, for nothing. Y'all will lead your tail to Kemaku and never find your way back to where you know you need to be. He will leave your tail out there. So you better be grateful for where he has your tail to be till you can learn your way up out of here. He's sitting here telling you right here that thou mayest, in verse 13, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. So when sister kept telling y'all these men are cuckoo clock, they gone. Judah gone. Y'all see, y'all thought I was lying. I don't have to come to these verses. I can come from within. Well, the Ruach lives in me, who teaches me the truth. Do you all know that I believe the truth is in me than any books? Do y'all know that? I've been teaching you all from what was from within. I've been teaching y'all from this within. Because this shines light on us. To hear for them down. And they looked at you. Many left, went and running here, running to and fro, they still run. Still looking for something to give them what they flesh need. So here in verse 14 it says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with a wound of an enemy. That's why he stayed on me about them gone. It's over. It's gone. They gone. How many times I told y'all they gone? They gone. There it is. He telling y'all the one did it, Deborah. It ain't no healing for them. Why didn't the Hebrew Israelites, fake cults and groups, teach this? Because they wanted to only teach enough to be cunning, crafty, sorcery, and liars. They didn't want to allow Judah to come no more than 4%, knowing only who they are, not spirit and truth, not the light. And that's where majority of you all fall in at. Y'all don't have the light. Y'all don't have spirit and truth. Y'all don't have nothing. Y'all just off the chain. Okay. So he says here in verse 14, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek ye not, for I have wounded thee with a wound of an enemy. That's he's showing you. He wound you so bad, it's like an enemy done wound you. Then you talking to the kingdom. You're talking about he who owned the kingdom. Who did it? And here I am telling you, they gone. They cuckoo clock. They ain't got. And see, y'all thought I was lying. Now it's being told through Jeremiah, which is a what? My brother, which is a what? Another prophet that told what? The mystery can be told to who? The prophets. I might not say it like Jeremiah because Jeremiah is not in my day, but I'm in the day. So I have to say it like the spirit that's in me, give it to me to give you all. That's why I kept calling y'all cuckoo clock. Okay, so here it is, and you thought you looked at it as bad, but now the Father is telling you, hey, she was saying what I see, and y'all always check me out wrong when your feelings and your emotions get to the best of you and make you think, oh, she wrong, that's not right. That's good. That's good. Because that's, like I said, it took him one time to say, ask that person for an ID. And that, you can wipe that slate. You can wipe that slate. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Oh, ID. I thought he wanted you. And that person went all the way to the deep end. All the way to the deep end. Don't have to worry about me. I don't have to worry about it. Or not it, but him. Okay. So here it is in verse 14. It says, wound of an enemy with the chastisement of a cruel one for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sin was increased. Didn't I tell y'all that? I sit back and I'm sitting here thinking of this, Father, y'all, how many times and how many videos did I make just to tell Judah how he was cutting up on the floor and how bad. And then these people get on here saying, you keep talking about Judah, you keep talking about these men. He's sitting here telling you in Jeremiah the same thing. Jeremiah said the same thing. You know how many years ago that was? Because their sin was increased. I have done these things unto thee. This was what I was explaining to y'all, and I've said it over and over. The 400 years was for this, to be taught to you. You know how Sister Deborah was telling you they cuckoo clock, they ain't got it up here, they gone 10%. They only got 10% left. Then finally they just gone. It ain't nothing up here. Judah men. See, all that time y'all thought I was lying. That's why the Father said, don't trust them. Don't trust them. They like brick walls. Don't trust them. Just speak spirit and truth with the light in your hand and keep it going. Because you that endure, Deborah, speaking the truth that's in you, bringing it out to them, and that's it. You are enduring. They not. They going on living, they living in favor to this world. Salute that, Father. I truly see that in the land of the living. I can see that. I can see exactly what he said. So here he says, I have done these things unto thee. So we were the 400 years. I was telling you all about it. We passed the 400 years, and you mean we didn't grip this in 400 years? See, you had it to grip it, but the men decide to be so sick. We're going to take it to different cults and different groups over here. We the people. We did it. And then took all these men out of the order. And also they had a great deal to do with bringing these men to the level of destroying their women. And they did an excellent job to it. And toward it. But y'all got a plan in that too. Oh, he got that taken care of. Oh, yes. You better read Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24 and 25. It ain't no one woman to 7 men. Hey, y'all better grip that and get it right. And understand what that means. That one man, if he survived after y'all destroyed Israel and Judah, the other part of Jacob, it was if there was a man being found, the women were saying, we want to be called by your name, holy. And then the Father tells them in Isaiah 4, you are holy. You were purged, women, and I made you holy. That's the name to take away your reapproach. That's the name she was saying that she wanted to be called by. You're crazy fools. Okay. So here in verse 16, it says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. You see? And all that thy adversaries, every one of them. And do you know what he mean by that? So when I got on here and I realized I had different nationalities on my page, I wanted to make sure they understand what grafted in me. And to be grafted in cannot boast to the level of not accepting the mission that we are on and bypass it and still put yourself at a level where you still want to boast that you're above us. We're not supposed to say anything back. We're supposed to hear what you say, do it your way, or it's no way. We're supposed to believe it your way, and we're supposed to get into and line up to the level of your hate, because your hate is still on this race thing. Black and white. I'm white, I'm right. See, y'all ain't going for that. You cannot and will not and shall not get grafted in from that end. That's like coming in that door. You want to come through the basement door, the crawl spot, the window. Hey, I'm getting in one way or another. No, you ain't. I'm a living servant to tell you. You ain't getting in that right. Even the point of being grafted in. You're supposed to fall in order. Not feel that you can fall in order with your nationality against the branches. Oh, no, you can't. See, the branches ain't about white and black. So if you falling in the order of, hey, I'm black or I'm white, baby, that's not the branches that's grafted in. Sit down, clowns. You ain't in. You ain't in there. Okay, so verse 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Okay, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, because they can turn Sister Deborah in the total opposite than what y'all sent me down here. Most of them do. Even my own, how would I say it? Even Judah, the men and women, they will put me in a black box and make me the worst of the worst, but still keep bringing their tails up here, sitting up on the wall in the corner. For what? For what? You ain't getting nothing out of it. Because if I am off balance with you there, don't think that the Father ain't with me and in me that allow me to feel that off balance. While you sitting your tail up in the corner for what? Because you lying to yourself. And I'm speaking to not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to keep coming. Okay? Go on, take your tail somewhere and sit down. Now here it says, it talks about how in verse 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, and every one of them, Deborah, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all the prey upon thee will I give to be prey. So you can run around here, you can get with each other, you can talk negative, you can say what you want about Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah telling you right now, baby, you on the deep end. And I don't have no problem with that, because I know where I am and who's in me. Okay, verse 17, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said the Most High Yah, because they call thee an outcast. Now, what he's trying to talk, he's talking about the spiritual Jacob. He ain't talking about all this Jacob out here, y'all. He ain't talking about all this Jacob out here. He's talking about the spiritual Jacob. He knows who he has as the spiritual Jacob. He knows exactly who they are. He talks about it in Jeremiah chapter 30. Take your butt back there and read it. It's in them. Something's in them. Want to claim that everybody Judah or everybody Israel. When y'all finish clowning on these corners and acting a monkey, they are not the spiritual Jacob. They the foolish Jacob in the flesh. That's why they hanging to the corners, making all these cults and groups and different religion and beliefs. So then it says, cause they called thee the outcast, saying, this is Zion. See, they knew who we were. They they know it. How many times did Sister Deborah teach not Jeremiah, what's that, Jeremiah? Ezekiel 36 to y'all. When the Most High was telling Ezekiel, they know. None of y'all really read it to see. They knew who you were. So why is the clown of Judah is out on corners trying to tell somebody who we are? The whole world know who we are except for stupid Judah. They don't know who they are because they out here so busy doing the opposite of what y'all stand for. They don't want to know because they too are likened to the serpent seed. But those that are Jacob, that's the spiritual seed, is a different as it is to the north, to the south. That's true. Okay. And he said, they call you outcasts, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. See, they know ain't nobody seeking after help you because y'all done put a seal on your tail. So you should have learned that in these 400 years. I'm speaking to somebody today. Your tail got on this devil platform, been riding it for many years and still ain't come to the knowledge of truth. You still up in the Christians and the Catholics and all these wannabe and the Muslims and the Buddha and all these other different religions and ain't even realize who you are in the Creator. That's a religion all in. It's not, no, it ain't a religion. It is how would I say it? A group all in itself. Learning who is this Creator. I want to know who he is. What he has to offer me on this sick world. What does he want me to know in this sick world? He knows that the world is sick. Tell me, what is it about this world that I need to know to hook on to you? Oh, no, y'all don't want to do that. Everybody doing okay as long as they got everything. And that's why, same thing I said to y'all over and over and over. The Most High, he's coming for everything you got. Because you didn't do what you're supposed to have done with it. If you could have made a difference, y'all would have wanted you to make a difference. What do you mean by that? When he's in you, he calls the shots and not you. See, this is what this tells you who's who and what's what. Because they ain't gonna let y'all make the decision. Oh no, they ain't gonna let y'all make the decision. They ain't gonna let them come nowhere near it. Okay, so verse 18, thou said the Most High, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be built upon her heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. Let me see where I go. That's thereof, okay? And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and voices of them that make merry. And I will multiply them. Stop. That's what he's talking about in Ezekiel 37. The dry bones. The dry bones, y'all. Listen to what it says in verse 19, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 19. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make it merry. And I will, tell them again, Deborah, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. That's Ezekiel 37, the dry bones. The dry bones represent the army of David that lost their lives in the battle. Woo! He's bringing them up. He's bringing them up, putting them where? On Mount Zion. Okay, so y'all run y'all dumb tails and take Ezekiel 37, the dry bones, all kind of ways, giving John all the glory. Not John, who is that? Who is that in? Ezekiel all the glory, and Ezekiel is just as blind as a bat in the kingdom when y'all said it. When he said, he does it, not Ezekiel. He's just saying it so y'all can see the spiritual realm, how it can speak and bring power to what is being said by the word. Y'all ain't got it. Y'all that far gone. Okay. So here he's letting you know in Ezekiel chapter 30, in Ezekiel chapter 37, read it. That's the dry bones. He's sitting here telling you right here. in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 19, I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. You hear that, Ezekiel 37? Get it right. Keep it going. Stop the lie. If you don't know spirit and truth, don't tell the lie. Okay, verse 20. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, Deborah, and I will punish all the oppressor, all that oppress them. So you all don't understand that the strangers can't be grafted in with a different mentality of all of this. He's telling you what he's going to do to the strangers, and what he's going to do to the Gentiles, what he's going to do to the heathen, what he's going to do to the nations. See, if the strangers ain't grafted in the proper way of being grafted in, they're not grafted in. They can call. It's just like the Christians. All of them say they saved. They waiting for the rapture. They say they full of the Holy Spirit. They say they got the Holy Ghost. They say they speak in tongues. They say they going to the kingdom, and y'all coming for them. Among white people, that's how branded their minds are. But if you step in the realm where you wanted the grafted one in, it's going to take a lot for you to be grafted in, because you got to graft in from the spirit. Because if you think that you can graft in to the branches from the flesh, that's what got many of them trapped. It's just like the Christians. It's just like the Catholics. Everybody got all these different religions. They think all of them going to the kingdom. Well, that's how those who calling themselves stranger, you got to be grafted in by the Spirit. And if you're grafted in by the Spirit, guess what? You ain't letting yourself fall in the category of these white people. You're falling in the category of truth and righteous. They don't get that though, y'all. They do not get that. They ain't gonna turn over their whiteness and they white hate for nobody. They ain't doing it, y'all. For no God, no Yah, no nobody. They ain't turning it in. That's what's so beautiful about Yah, that has everything already written. Now it says here in verse 21, and their nobles shall be themselves, and their governors shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause them to draw near, and shall approach unto me, For who is this that engage his heart to approach unto me, said the Most High Yah. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your Yah. I'm going to stop right there on that. You see, this is Jacob. This is the spiritual Jacob he's talking to. In Jeremiah chapter 30, if you ever want to know who the Jacob's trouble that's being spoken to, who he's telling the trouble of Jacob to, understand it's the spiritual Jacob. It's not the world, the flesh Jacob. It's the spiritual Jacob he's talking to, his servants. Okay? He's not talking to everybody. Okay? So, okay, I did the Jeremiah, I did the Isaiah. Now we're going to get in the deep of the deep. Now let's go to Daniel. In the book of Daniel, and watch what he said to Daniel. Okay, the book of Daniel, chapter 12. In the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1 through 3. In the book of Daniel, and we're going to drop down to verse 13. In the book of Daniel, chapter 1 through 3, he says, and this is another prophet now, y'all. And that's why I try to explain to y'all. The reason why I'm capable of explaining this instruction book down with the Ruach in me, he's the light that shine on darkness and bring the light out of what is being said here, but bring the light out of it, because it's darkness all up in it, up and down it, okay? So here in Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1 and 3. Then we're going to jump into verse 13. And verse 1 starts off. And at that time shall Michael, we know who that is, stand up. That's the archangel. Stand up. The great prince which stands for the children of thy people. He stands for the children, which is Jacob's people, Jacob. And there shall be a time of trouble. So Jacob still don't grip that the time of trouble is real. When Sister Deborah is sitting here trying to tell you the wrath of Yah has hit the earth, y'all, we in trouble. And I keep telling y'all over and over and over, and y'all over and over look at me all cockeyed. You know why? You're not the Jacob of the Spirit. That's why many that's on this Deborah platform continue to follow Sister Deborah. You're not Jacob in the spirit. You're in Jacob's in the flesh, like all these other what would you call it? All these other Hebrew Israelites and all these different cults and all these different groups. That's where you fall in the protocol. It's best that you take your tail and get your tail up and go, because there's too many of them out there. Surely it's one that can give you the food you need. Because you ain't getting it in the spirit, baby. You ain't getting nothing in the spirit. Okay, you just holding the wall. Okay, so here in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 through 3, I see here that he pulling in Daniel another prophet. We had prophet Isaiah, we had prophet Jeremiah, we have prophet Daniel, and you're hearing from the prophet today, Deborah, and you still ain't getting it. You know why you ain't getting it? Because the Holy Spirit, the Father Spirit wants you to know you're not who you say you are. That's why you can't get it. Okay? So here we stepped into Daniel chapter 12, and he's talking about the Michael, the prince, which is the archangel. He's standing up, a great prince, which stand for the children of thy people, Deborah. And there shall be, Deborah, a time of trouble, Deborah, such as never since there was a nation, even to that same time, Deborah. How many times have I pooped that out? I'm tired of it. And I'm not afraid to say it loud, because y'all know exactly what I meant and what I meant. I have said that over and over and over. You all think you're in a time of lollygagging. You're in a time of your life. As long as you got everything and you can do whatever you want, and you can do here, and you can do things. Oh, you good. You good. You good. But you know what? All of that good that you in, take away from anything that Yah can call you to. Woo! Because you done set in your mind that I don't need him for nothing, but is he in me? That's good. I don't have a problem with him being in me, but I got everything I need. People have set their minds to where they are settled for where they at, what they have, what they got, where they're going, and what they doing. And I sat back and I said, all this time I've been on this devil platform putting out all these videos. I cannot even look at it as a bad thing, because they did it to my father. He sat and gave them this thing longer than 6,000 years, and they still ain't bust a move nowhere near it. They still caught up in themselves. You teaching this thing to the Lord of the law, and they still down there as low can be, trying to figure out, well, that's about that, whatever. They're in their own world. And that's what I'm telling y'all might think I'm crazy, but I like this tribulation that we stepped in. And I like that fire, how he gonna turn it up. And I like how he gonna take and strip your tail from everything. Because that's the only way it's gonna identify really who you are. And it's gonna show you ain't who you are. That's what it's gonna do. Y'all didn't know they did you. The fire is gonna try you in that way, because it's gonna identify you ain't who you've been saying you are. Because all he had to do is snatch the rug from underneath you. What is the rug, Deborah? You having everything. Your desires are being met. You having everything, doing everything. You finding life pleasurable for you, because, you can do that. That's why you can't line up with him and serve him. Because you said, for what? What I need him for? Oh, let me speak it to you. When that cancer pull up, what's going on then? When that car crash pull up, what's going on then? This is the sort of fire you're gonna be tried by. Did you say that, Deborah? I sure did. Y'all run around here thinking this fire is something to play in because you figured you got everything. I ain't in need for nothing. I got everything, everything, my T's crossed, my I's. Everybody think, Father, know that my mindset ain't nowhere near that. My mind is stayed on him because I see from the wilderness level of how bad it is. One might say, when you keep talking this negative, you get don't y'all? What do you think Job, the book of Noah was doing? Do you think not that the Father did not warn the people in Solomon and Gomorrah that he was coming to destroy them? See, Yah is so just. People, no matter how many times he warned you to get it right and get on the right track, you ain't going nowhere. He'll warn you day and night, night and day. He know already you ain't going nowhere. Look what he did to Adam. He turned around, gave Adam everything perfect. Everything to him from the kingdom level was good. He called it everything was good. And he turned around and set man in it. No, that man was going to take evil over his goodness. Woo. And do you really think he worried about you? He ain't worried about you. He know you. He know you. He already got you ready. Sit down. Okay. So here in Daniel, he's talking in Daniel. Now listen to what he says in Daniel chapter 12 and verse, let's start with verse 1 and I'm going to read on down so I can get past this here. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up. Now here goes the angel of Yah. He's standing up, that great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble. They don't pay no attention to that. Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, the people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found. Tell them, Father, tell them, Father, tell them. How is it that y'all think y'all going somewhere? Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found. Written. Oh, look at heaven. Look at heaven. Shutting your tail down now, ain't it? That is written in the book. You notice it didn't say books. The books with an S is the book leading to the lake of fire. But this book is the book Eternal Life. Eternal. That's what that book is. But he says, thy people shall be delivered. Who's going to be delivered? Who's going to be delivered, Father? Y'all? Who's going to be delivered? Who's going to be delivered? Don't tell me Jacob. He's speaking of, it's Jacob in the flesh. He's speaking of Jacob in the spirit and Jacob in the spirit only. And he says here, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation ever to that same time. There go Jacob trouble. Jacob's trouble, Jacob. Jacob's trouble, Jacob. Okay? And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Who is thy people? Who is thy people? Everyone that shall be written in the eternal book. You're clowning. You're clowning. Then we got to go to verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awaken, shall to everlasting eternal. And some of shame, everlasting condemnation. Then you know those that's coming out the grave to be judged, they're going to go into shame, which is the lake of fire. But those, reason why he's talking about the dust, those that sleep, those who had died and awakened, they're gonna go to the eternal in the books. They're written in the books. They're going to the eternal kingdom. You see, he's letting you know, even though I got some sleep there, but they're gonna wake up and come to the glory. Oh, yeah, right. But he's letting you know in verse 3, and they that be wise, they'll go to spiritual wisdom. They that be what? Wise. That is the what? The spiritual wisdom. They that be wise, who is that? Spiritual wisdom shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. See, y'all thought it was turning people to Yah because you say you to Yah. No, you got to turn people to righteousness. That's why I said these Europeans get on here and don't understand. It ain't about your race. This battle ain't between the flesh of race. Are you walking in righteousness? I've been teaching that for so long to where you just, and you know what? That's why I said, y'all picked the right one. Because I ain't never been a person that gives a rat's behind about race. Never been. Never. I can talk to anyone. I can deal with anyone. I can eat with anyone. Hey, it don't matter. But when you study talking and you see that people are moved by their race more so than righteous, spirit and truth and the light, kick their tails to the curb and keep it going. Kick their tails to the curb and keep it going because they think they're hurting you. The Father said, if they ain't for me, they ain't going to be for you. If they ain't for you, they ain't going to be for me because I'm in you and I'm greater in you than anything on the outside of you. So if they don't like you, they don't like me. They just don't know it. I'm not for them. Hey, see, I didn't know they did. Go fly high. Okay? Okay, so here in verse 3, it says, and they that be wise, spiritual wisdom, y'all, they that have spiritual wisdom shall shine as the brightness of the infirmity. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. See, it's all about, I told y'all, don't get caught up in this race, in this worldly matter to where you forget the fact that if Sister Deborah's on here and you're following her month, year, follow her under righteousness, truth and righteousness, righteous and truth. Don't follow her under all this other monkey mess that you're trying to line Sister Deborah up with because your emotion, which is your flesh is against your own spirit. So if your flesh is against your own spirit, you know what your flesh is against me? How about that? If your flesh against your own spirit, what do you think your flesh feel about me? Pull up. Pull up if you can. You can't. So when I get to Daniel chapter 12 and verse 13, it prompts something. And listen to what it says. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 13. But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the day. He's telling Daniel, he had already told him to shut it up because what? They're going to be going to and fro. They're going to be looking for knowledge. Knowledge ain't going to get it. They ain't going to get there through that knowledge. They ain't going to get there through that knowledge. Pull it up, Deborah said, verse 3. Daniel chapter 12, verse 3. And they that be wise, wisdom, spiritual wisdom, shall shine. Down here in verse 4, it says, close the book up and seal it, Daniel, for they're going to be running, they shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased unto them. Why? That's all they got coming. You ain't got nothing coming but knowledge. But see if you get in the kingdom with that knowledge you running around here trying to get while you going to and fro to all kind of pages trying to seek something that ain't worth an eye. Okay? So my next one was, we're going to go to Matthew's chapter. I'm almost done. Matthew's, let me see what time I'm on. Okay. I'm going into Matthew 24. This is going to sum it up to let you know where we at right here today. Now, we heard one prophet tell us the terrible trouble we're going to be in, okay? And then you heard Jeremiah and Isaiah said the same thing. Jacob's trouble, Jacob. And there's going to be a time where Jacob is going to be in trouble and y'all going to pull him out. Only the spiritual Jacob and not the flesh Jacob, okay? Why would he pull the flesh Jacob out? But he lets you know you're going to have a lot of things that I'm going to judge you on. Oh yeah. See, we ain't getting up out of here for nothing. Oh, he said, you ain't getting, we still ain't gonna, we gonna be still, it ain't like we getting away with not being unpunished. I like that, Father, y'all. I like that because it still shows to me that you ain't letting all this wickedness get by. You're gonna be checking those that are the spiritual Jacob, even their wrongdoing. I like that. Okay, so when you get to Matthew chapter 24 and you get to, shall I hang with 22? Matthew chapter 24. I better get here. And I want to go to Matthew chapter 24 and I want you to go to verse 15. Matthew chapter 24, verse 15, it says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination and desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet. Now see how Matthew's swing your butt right back to that prophet. You see what I'm saying? And what did Sister Deborah do? I swung your tail back to the prophet Jeremiah, back to the prophet Isaiah, back to the prophet Daniel. And I pull up as a prophet, telling you what it's going to feel like today. See. Y'all can't climb on top of y'all servants and think y'all gonna make it somewhere. You can't do it. You ain't gonna win. You can go to all them other pages all over the place. All this here, Facebook, Instagram, Patriot, Twitter, YouTube. You can go all everywhere you want. But y'all ain't gonna let you make a fool of his servants. All right. So here in Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination and desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet in the holy place. Who? So read it, let him understand. What do you mean? Understand is the Holy Spirit. He shall understand what they're talking about in Daniel. Okay? These are the times in which was spoken of. Okay? And then in verse 16 it says, then let them which be in Judea flee unto the mountains. Verse 17, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Verse 18, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Here I believe that, let me go on and keep on reading. Verse 19, and woe unto them that are with child and to them that give suck in those days. Verse 20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, nor on the Sabbath day. So whatever time period this is, it's going to take place in the coldness, in the winter season. Verse 21, for then shall the great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except, listen to this, except, Deborah, those days should be short. Y'all gonna shorten those days. Watch who he's shortening it for. He's not shortening these days for you. It says in verse 22, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But the elect's sake, those days shall be short. He's sitting here telling you the elect's sake, those days shall be short. He's going to take heathens out. Okay. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, no, that's going a little bit deep. So let me show you in verse 22. No, that's the one I just gave you. Look at where he says, If it wasn't for his elect's sake, no one would be saved if he don't shorten the days. What is that flesh? No flesh be saved. Why? Because he's only getting those who's going over to Mount Zion. And who are they, Deborah? His elects. For their sake, he's taking them. You know that small remnant he's talking about? Y'all messed up from the floor up. Y'all out here ain't doing a rat's behind, but doing everything for worldly matters and worldly lifestyle, and feel that you are holier than thou, and you're going to enter somewhere and you're going to represent y'all as you are, and you have nothing detached to anything but trying to be cunning, crafty, sorcery, ways that you make yourself feel that you are the light. Oh yeah, he gonna let your tail sit right here. Listen to what he says. Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened. Now he's going to shorten them days, all because of Jacob, the spiritual seed of Jacob. The spiritual seed. That's that small remnant. For their sake, he's going to save them. And that's why he said no flesh be saved, because they're going to be taken to Mount Zion. So they're going to be flesh, but he's going to get them out in time. Okay. So everything Daniel saying, Jeremiah and Ezekiel, even in Ezekiel Ezekiel talking about the dry bones, but Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, Sister Deborah pulling you up and giving you the information this day. What would y'all be if he didn't give you another one of his servants in this day? It makes sense, because you can't. See how y'all want to put him in a category of unjust, because you want him to deal with you so in your flesh till you refuse to accept him in the spirit realm, in his spiritual order in which he has called things from the kingdom. You all don't want to accept him for that. You want to accept him from the way you want to feel about things, the way you want to think about things, the way you want to see things from the level of your flesh. And he's going to let you know your tail going to be left here, because these that's going to be saved, these are my servants. These are mine. And for their sake, the only way that I can get them up out of here is shorten that time. So during that tribulation, he just told you, during that tribulation, swoop, they mine. I'm taking them out. So that's why I try to explain to you, they're not going to escape tribulation. They're going to be in it. But just so they can be saved, their flesh can be saved, he letting you know, I'm going to pull mine out. Y'all can stay y'all tails in here. And see, y'all take him to be human. That's my problem with people. I have a problem with people because they think that this Most High is flesh. He has to do the things and make things work on the way we see it in the flesh, the way we interpret it. You know, I don't give a rat's behind what y'all think in the flesh, because he already told me they flesh is their worst enemy. So before you can be their enemy, their own flesh, their own darn enemy first and foremost. That makes sense. It is sense. See, that makes you look stupid. You can't make nobody worse than what you are in flesh. Your own enemy. So you never thought of it like that. But yeah, check that thing. So my last verse is John chapter 16, the Gospel of John chapter 16. In verse 33, I like the way Matthew laid that thing down. He laid it down. I don't think nobody's going to be able to pick it up any better than that. In Matthew 24, verse 15 to 31, he laid that bad boy down, and he turned around, pulled up on 27, that the day is going to have to be short so minds can be saved. See, y'all don't understand that. Y'all think y'all getting out of here for nothing. I mean, y'all just sitting here calling y'all something and wanting to be something that you're not. You think, well, okay, just imagine what Sister Deborah said in the days of Noah. No, you didn't go there, Deborah. Yes, I did. I went all the way. Just because they lost and they don't know the way, that's on them. Because they lost and don't know the way, that's on them. I went all the way with that one. Like the days of Noah. So shall it be. See? Y'all think y'all run this thing. This thing already been ran. He just finna make sure y'all understand Now one of you is going to escape what he got planned for you. Okay, so when I get to the Gospel of John chapter 16, I want to swing to verse 33. This is my last verse. The Gospel of John chapter 16 and verse 33. And this is a great message for individual who's be looking for a message for the Sabbath day. This is what you call a Sabbath day message. Awakening and shaking. Because that's what I should have called it that. This is awakening and shaking. Because this sister is saying something, even though she's saying nothing. Because you say nothing when you're speaking to brick walls. You say something when you're speaking spirit and truth. Even if it's yourself, you feel that thing. Okay, so the Gospel of John chapter 16 and verse 33, it says, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. Yeshua HaMashiach is saying, in him you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation. So he's letting them know that you're going to have tribulation in this world. But if you stick with me, Yeshua HaMashiach, in me, you're going to get the peace. But what did he say? Watch what he said. Watch what he said. Verse 33, in these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. You might have peace in me. In the world ye shall have tribulation. But be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So he's letting you know, if you're not in me, where you can get the peace, because tribulation is on its way. You're going to have tribulation, baby. You're going to have tribulation, but know this. I have overcome the world. So you take your tail out here, thinking because y'all letting you have everything, letting you get everything, letting you be about you, and mine's. You keep on playing that game. It's going to pull up on you sooner than you expect. Because he's going to definitely try your tail by that fire. And let's see, are you going to be able to stand? So, Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of Jacob's trouble Jacob. Shalom and shalom.